get freaked out. Try to keep your cool. Shit happens all the time. Disappointment is a motherfucker. Disappointment, a feeling of sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes or expectations. Disappointment is everywhere. Disappointment doesn't really have a name, you know. Not like you just go. You wouldn't open your front door and let it in. Disappointment doesn't have a specific time it shows up. Disappointment doesn't have any reason it shows up. It manifests itself in misery. And disappointment is another equal opportunity employer. Disappointment doesn't care if you have a bun or a wiener. Doesn't care what the color of your skin is. And it doesn't care what fucking religion you are, where you're from, who you are, how much money you make. Nothing. This is one of my sources of disappointment right now. The other day I was using it, and the motors went. They didn't burn out or anything else. It's something stupid. There's something going on with the brakes. Learn about your chair. First and foremost, identify which chair you have. I have the Invacare TDXSP. Familiarize yourself with the controller. Controls the movement of everything in your chair. Next, you have your batteries, the power source. The power source for what, you may ask? Obviously your motors. We got to talk a little bit more in detail about these because they come in 3 components. And last but not least, and of course, you have your control module. This controls everything. Familiarize yourself with your chair and the components within. Or don't familiarize yourself with your chair for a surefire way to find absolute disappointment. I tried to fix this. I have the parts to fix it. I don't have a tool that I need. And above all, everything else, I don't possess the ability to fix it. It's all right here. I can have a fucking 12-year-old fix this fucking thing. Truth be known, I am the true source of my disappointment, my lack of ability. But I have a guy coming in on Friday, so I'll be all right, because I was fortunate enough to have this chair, which is a fantastic backup as compared to a manual chair. And I told you before, I could use a manual chair. I've done it. The chair I have is not exactly, you know, one of those little fucking sports car chairs. So it's not real fun or fucking great to use. And I'm not putting any undue wear and tear and stress on my shoulders, because the body is not meant to walk with the fucking arms. This is not a normal fucking natural movement. You do it. But if you don't have to, don't. If I get injured, it's going to be by training. My training is not pushing a fucking chair up a mountain or something like that. Not fucking happening. You can call me a pussy, you can call me whatever you want. All I would say is go fuck yourself and do whatever you want to do, and I'll do what I want to do, and that's the way it is. But I will not disappoint myself again by injuring myself, because that will be the ultimate disappointment in myself. And because all of my disappointment stems directly from myself. I accept full responsibility for my situation. However, the motors on this, it's a story for another day. We're going to try to fix it, and we will get it fixed. I already know how to do it, because I've familiarized myself with my chair, familiarized myself with the workings, with the motors, with the actuators, the up and down, fucking in and out, all the. I could fix the living shit out of this thing, no problem. Big problem is I don't have the strength, I don't have the tools and the ability. You need a little bit more dexterity. Story for another day. But disappointment will get you.
Most of my disappointment derives from my expectations of others and especially demands placed on myself.
But it's how you handle it. You have to think logically and rationally. Don't panic when things happen. You know, always have a backup. This chair right here, a friend of mine knew a person. I actually went to school with her sister. Her sister Diane St. Louis and Kathy St. Louis, and I guess her mother or her other sister or something had gotten this chair for her father some years back, I guess. And her dad never really liked it, so they just sort of had it for a while. Next thing you know, a friend of mine, Mickey, said, "Oh, do you want it?" And I said, "You know what, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but sure." Well, I found out what I was going to do with it. However, I told the guy in Maryland, Mark Flounlacker, that he could have this chair. Well, he dragged his feet on coming to get it. And in between him getting the chair and everything else, I had a problem with this chair, but I had this one for a backup. And as soon as I realized that I had a backup and everything else, I was really happy about it, but still at the same time, I felt bad because I was going to disappoint someone else. And that's a lot of the other part of disappointment. I felt terrible about that, but you know what? First and foremost, the person that you have to take care of the most, and if you do not, you will suffer some serious repercussion, is yourself. Well, I spoke to Mark and he understood and everything else, but you have to have a plan B for whatever it is. Now, I was fortunate enough to have somebody else take care of my plan B, but this thing has worked out really well. You know, it's a little big for me and everything else, but as compared to pushing that other motherfucker around, I'm good. I'm going to show you how we went about fixing this thing. Understand your chair. If you understand how this thing works, whatever disappointment you're in, you may be able to get out of it all by yourself. Or at the very least, be able to speak to someone so that they know exactly what it is that you need to have done. All right? Now stick around. There's shit going on.
Preparation is your number one defense against disappointment. Number two is knowledge. Familiarize yourself with yourself and your surroundings and don't fucking die.